Hello and welcome to another edition of Rex, the Adequate Chef. Today I was going to do a béarnaise sauce, with a mushroom béarnaise sauce on top of some poached eggs with a canapé, but I started reading the directions and it says follow the Hollandaise sauce, and well, I haven't done a Hollandaise sauce yet, so figured I better go and do that one first, let them build upon us. As she basically says, it's probably the most famous of all sauces. It's often the most dreaded, mainly because your egg yolks can break. Hollandaise is known to break. I've never made it before. It's very likely mine will break, and if it does, she says there's a foolproof way of doing it in a blender that an 8-year-old can do it. So worst case scenario, we may go to the blender. But 2 points to remember, she always says, when making hollandaise by hand. And you know what? Don't always go to the blender portion. As she said, you want to try this at home. You want to get your hands in. You need to know how to make this sauce by hand. Sauces are everything, and if you're really interested in learning French cooking, you got to master the sauces. And I haven't really done that yet. I've really took a huge hiatus, so I'm happy to come back and at least try the hollandaise sauce for the first time. Let's see what happens. But we want to make sure that the egg yolks thicken to a smooth cream, and so eggs, they must be heated slowly and gradually. You can Google Hollandaise sauce, Julia Child. There's YouTube on it. Some people like to do it over, a steam bath in a bowl. There's a bunch of different methods. She's like, just do it over low heat. If you know what you're doing and you know what you're looking for, you're going to be fine. Just be ready to take it off heat if needed rapidly. You can even have a cool water bath to dunk it in. And the butter. You have to add in the butter slowly. The eggs can only absorb so much butter at a time. So if you add too much butter in, kaboof, there goes your sauce. So it's the most dreaded. I've been cooking a lot of dishes. As you can see, I'm sweating. It's hot in the kitchen today. This is my 4th dish to put a whole thing together, which you're going to see. We're doing a canapé with some creamed spinach, with basically a poached egg with the hollandaise sauce over the top of it. So it should be really good. I'm pretty excited about the dish. We just have to nail this sauce. So let's get right to it. Primarily things that you need, as you can see right down here, you want some melted butter. I've already done that. It's nice and melted. You want 3 egg yolks, which I have already separated. You need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of cold water, and you want 2 tablespoons of cold butter. And I failed to mention on the melted butter, 6 to 8 ounces. I'm doing 6. Hopefully that will be enough to make this recipe. First thing you want to do is you want to put the 3 yolks in, and you're just going to start whisking them. So you want a small saucepan, and this is really the smallest pan I have. So we're just going to start whisking. I know it's a non-stick. My mom's probably cringing out there that I have a wire whisk and the non-stick, but it's what I got. It's what we're cooking with. So as Julia said, you really just have to beat these things into submission to punish them the way you need to in the future. So go ahead and let's get them nice and creamy. And all this, as you can see, I'm on my kitchen counter right now. We're doing this all off heat. She says you're going to whisk these things in about a minute until they become sticky. So let's see what sticky looks like. Does that look sticky to you? Sure looks sticky to me. Okay, now we're going to add in the water, the lemon juice, and a large pinch of salt. So there goes the salt, there goes the water, and here goes the lemon juice. And you want to beat this, she says, for about a minute more. Okay, we're gonna try this. This is gonna be really tricky. I'm at the stove side trying to follow a recipe with a sauce that's really important is not gonna be easy. So bear with me. I have a feeling that this one will be one for the record book. So I put in 1 tablespoon of cold butter, as you can see right there. And we don't wanna beat that in. Then we place the saucepan over very low heat. I have the stove as low as it can go. Barely simmering. And then we're gonna stir the egg yolks with a wire whip, and we just basically want them to thicken. So here we go. She says this should take about 1 to 2 minutes. Now if it starts to thicken too quickly, or if it even begins to look lumpy, she says you want to put it in a cold water bath to cool the pan down immediately. Try to get that butter going in there a little more. There we go. Basically, she says we want the egg yolks to thicken just enough to where you can start seeing like a ribbon where the bottom of the pan's clearing, and then we want to take it off heat and put another tablespoon of cold butter in. All right, I've been stirring like crazy. I can actually touch the bottom of the pan right now with my hand, so I think that's a little too low of a heat. I turned it up a bit. Now it's time to really ruin the sauce. It's not getting thick, but I'm afraid to give it more heat, so we're just gonna keep going like this. It's not pulling away from the pan, so it's definitely not thickening up yet, but at the same time, it doesn't look like it's getting lumpy, which is good. All right, it's thickening just a bit. You see that? It's almost, I think we're getting better. See where it's starting to pull away from the pan there? She said 2 minutes. You see how that's pulling away? I think we're good. Now, what she says, take it off heat. See if I can get the camera real quickly on it. Time's of the essence. We want to drop that cold butter in and quickly stir that around to stop that cooking. All right, that's great. You see that? That's nice and creamy. Let's move over to the countertop. All right, now what you want to do is you want to take that melted butter that you had, and you just really slowly, and you know what? I'm actually going to pour this into a measuring cup. Because you really want to just, not too much. See how I poured it too fast? That's dangerous. Like a 1/4 teaspoon at a time. Just little droplets until it really starts to thicken. The yolks can only take in so much butter. You know, they're like, okay, enough is enough, and then it goes bleh, and then you just ruined your sauce. And if it doesn't thicken, well, we'll have to go down that road, and let's hope we don't. Uh-oh, that was a good tablespoon. That's a bad thing. Trying to do this with 2 hands with the butter and hold that is not easy. Woo, this is a workout. You know, I could take off the chef hat and the chef jacket and be a lot cooler, but, you know, looks everything, right? All right, let's add a little more butter here. Now, once it starts getting thick, as you can see here it is, sort of like pudding, you can start adding in a little bit more butter. I don't want to jinx it, but so far, I don't think we've broken this sauce. If I can do this, it'll be amazing. So proud of myself. For all you anti-butter people out there, you better not watch this episode. It'll give you a heart attack just watching it. For all you Teflon coated pan people out there that say never use a wire utensil, you better stop watching too. You'll have a heart attack. Now, when you boil or warm up butter, you're going to get the butter fat at the very bottom. That's the white stuff. You don't want to, you can omit that basically. Don't pour that in. But there you go. Just keep stirring it. Almost done with this butter here. And you know what? Knock on wood, we haven't broken our sauce yet. The most dreaded ever sauce, Hollandaise, going down. Okay, just a little more butter. See that little milky stuff? Oh, right there, you see? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a part of the butter label. Take that out. It's just extra flavor. Okay, and then one final, try to get that last remaining bit of butter. I'm gonna leave that out. Salt and pepper to taste this, and then we might just be there. Okay, Hollandaise sauce, you're gonna wanna serve it fairly, you wanna serve it right away. There are tricks that you can do to make it last longer, and that is covered in her books. Luckily for me, I'm eating it right away. You want to season with white pepper. So I'm going to put a little white pepper in there. It doesn't really need a lot of salt. And lemon juice. You can add little drops of lemon juice to season, but I'm afraid to ruin it. Add a little more pepper to that. Always keep if it's hot in your kitchen, keep a designated rag. I use red, that way I know it's a danger. Don't use it for anything else but to wipe your forehead. Every now and then you'll see a cooking show where people don't do that, it's gross. Okay, that's pretty good. I might add a couple drops of lemon. Let's be careful here because lemon, I think, is a powerful, there we go, just a couple drops, you see that? Do a couple more. Mix that around. Oh, a little bit more. All right, I don't want to ruin it. Yep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up, show it to you. You can see the creaminess, nice smooth. Look at how it's holding on the spoon before it drops, nice. Very rich, smooth, creamy, excuse me. It's delicious. Hollandaise sauce, and you know what? My sauce didn't break. It's solid. The most dreaded sauce ever, and I just conquered it. So, take that Hollandaise sauce, just drizzle it. Just cover that thing. That's right. That's what it's for, just to let it have it. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good.